champions getting placed in mid. And what I really like from the idea of White Dragons is that they're actually, despite the normality of that draft, they're still not betraying their...
Yeah, whatever. Just main stage, yay! While
Yeah,
if
we're
I'm
just gonna have
SK,
fun.
probably group, I would even say group B rather than group C.
Really?
But yeah, but let's go into the game. We have the game on our hands. Players are starting to run out of base. We will probably see a normal cover. And it's really interesting that Mart again goes for this pink ward. So the question that I have now, how are they going to place this pink ward? Is this placement going to be used to scout properly? And what we're seeing here, it's an on mid. I like that. And it's a cannon top.
It certainly is. He got the more or less of a sort of a 5-point going through right here, but the Silas and Poppy close to each other. The Fiora making a little bit of a 3-man unit up there for SK Prime, so they're taking control of that top side. White Dragons instead take control of the bot river. Nami, though, seal for SK Prime and assumedly Gadget underneath his model there. They are deep into the bot lane brush, so if you step too close to that one, we could have another devastating level 1 on our hands. It would not be the first time level 1 for one of these teams has gone very, very badly wrong in bot lane.
Yeah, we have seen the Gadget Twitch with the Twitch, right?
Yeah.
That was unfortunate. I just want to highlight something about the mid lane matchup. A lot of people say this is straight out a good matchup for Silas. It depends on how you build. If Ornn starts with a longsword and then instantly, oh my god, there's something.
No, they're not respecting it. Alternative, look at his HP. It's all gone down. Summoners traded their worst. Firing back drops the heal for speed. Maybe Gadget's in the wrong side of town, and both summoners get dropped.
Both summoners get dropped, and this results in White Dragons actually having control in this lane because they can just perma push now, and this could potentially alternate the game state because Poppy is passing to bot, playing actually for this strong side of bot lane, and making sure that they can play aggressive. And now that's gone. And let's see how that unfolds, and let's see how this is going to impact the game, because I think this could realistically be already a good way of attacking SK.
That's a very good start for the White Dragons. I've heard more than one analyst call Lucian Nami bot lane a bit of a bait on this patch, and it looked so good in the first couple of autos, but then it went so far downhill. This is even with the first strike for Gadget as well. Is this normal? Surely the PTA is what I would have expected.
The PTA is pretty much normal. The first strike is like, okay, we just want to have more damage because you get 10% damage amp. However, it's like, you are really good on short trades. However, against Silver Karma, I don't think you win long trades, as we saw. So that's what I'm saying. And we see a heavy trade in mid. And this is what I wanted to bring my attention to. Because some people know, I coach some people in League of Legends, and I think this is the first
Phantomless. Oh, look at the solo first blood for the Silas. Cleanly done. Yeah,
cleanly done for the side of Phantomless, but this should never happen, because as Ornn, you don't have to hard lose this matchup if you start longsword and then build Executioner's Calling, because yes, your Q is physical damage, and that procs the Executioner's Calling passive, which is anti-heal, and this is exactly how you can win this lane. And so he didn't read, like, he didn't knew the dark tech, so unfortunately he goes down, and that's like, if you get a solo kill as Silas in lane against an Ornn, this spells dark times ahead. But we can see it again.
He's standing so far up, right? And like the Conqueror's already stacked up for Phantomless. He's just really wants to get this wave under control.
Yeah, but it's good for Swantis does. He knows he has to go walk up, and then he just flashes, gets the passive. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, hang on a second. Got an altercation in the jungle. All aggression from both sides. Worst an alternative. Flashing into the pit to safety. Mart, though, will take first blood in this engagement onto Ekas. Traded back by Gadget. Double buffs grifted over. He does have the flash. There's low HP bars. If you can find it through Seal. Flashes over to make it done. And it's a double for the Lucian. Meanwhile, Phantomless finds his way onto Fred once again with a chain lash slowing him down. It's 2-0 now for the Silas.
We came out of the replay, and then we suddenly have a bot fight, and we see SK being on top, getting 2 kills now on Silas and 2 kills on the Lucian Nami, which is exactly what they needed to bail out this bad situation that had been going on in bot. And I think this, yes, SK has a slower way of playing the game. However, I think with this amount of lead in these 2 lanes, this spells already disaster for White Dragons.
this is certainly not an overcautious, overly respectful game 2 from SKP. They are playing with confidence, going aggressive in the bot lane, the mid lane fights as well. We can see Alois taking over top lane. They know that they have what it takes to make the main stage right here. Zekas will hide in, doesn't find the hammer strike though. Papatiero is going to be able to receive the wave at tower.
Yeah, this is good for Alois. Alois can now base if the wave is crashing. Yes, the wave should be crashing. And he doesn't have to initially TP. He can use his TP, but I think what he wants to do is like just walk up to the lane and maybe go for an aggressive trade and then use this TP. But oh yeah, Alois is just gonna TP and gonna trade this TP. Ken is also using the P. And I think from SK side, what I'm curious to see now is how are they gonna pick up the game pace? Are they gonna accelerate? The Herald is potentially coming up soon. The dragon, the first dragon has spawned, and I like what they're doing. They're setting up the Death Brush and looking for these short trades and making it really, really hard for White Dragons to crash in this wave. And you can see White Dragon called for help, and the jungle is there to just make sure they can crash this wave in. SK is looking like they don't want to give anything here, so it's going to be rough.
Happy to step up a contest if Mark gives them an angle. Does still have double buffs on Gadget. They've got Fred coming down too. He doesn't have the Call of the Forge God, but there's no flash on Lucian, no flash on Nami. 4 versus 2 dive. Out comes the cleanse. Gadget shut down by Mark. Traded back is alternative. Seal will escape the 1-for-1, all said and done.
Yes, they get the 1-for-1. However, Fred was on his way down. They could have waited. They had so much time. There were a lot of minions coming down there, and I think they just initiated too early, which resulted in a 2-for-1 into 1-for-1 trade. My bad. However, I think it's good that they're being cracked. It's good to see that they're still in the game. They are still willing to do some plays, and maybe the next one would work. But we see Alois is going for.
Oh no. Phantomless pushing, punishing another extended wave, and Papatiero will fall with no trouble.
Yeah, this is a. They can even potentially freeze this wave. He doesn't have TP. It seems like he just wants to push this, because yeah, but it's good for SK. It's just like getting another kill. The Fiora gets the kill, and alternative is here on top and potentially looking for something.
With the 1v1 onto Alois, it's going to get that second Mantrid Inner Flame, but the nice riposte dodges the damage, and he's not going to find too much here. Mark's in the area, doesn't have the ult though. Alois likely going to be safe.
Alois is likely going to be safe, as he said. He might lose a lot of CS for this. But we go back to the bot lane play. Yes, SK is like per string and making sure, hey, you're not going to get this ward for free. And we see Fred is on his way. And this is exactly... Sivir didn't have to hard push this wave. She could have like made it a little bit slower. So Fred has enough time to invade. And you see, you have a cannon. You don't have to start here. Yes, they get the Q on. You get the kill. They get the shutdown. However, it's a trade back. And I think this is still decent from SK's side. So because another kill to get it, he's pretty happy.
Yeah, he is down in CS a little bit at the time, was about 20 CS down at one point, but has the 3 kills to his name. He's not behind in item power at all. Is going to be very comfortable moving forward as the top side of the map has gone pretty well for SK Prime as well. Alois taking control of this matchup. The Fiora, very, very scary so far in the play-ins, and today is no different.
Today is no different. Yes, you can see it. And also you mentioned the fact that Gadget was down 20 CS at some point. He now has already two shield plays on bot lane. It's... Yes. Yeah, I think we're going to the fight here.
No, they don't like it. They don't want it. The 2v2 is a bit of fear in the hearts of White Dragons.
Yeah, I think it's good from SK that they're trying to back out because Phantomless is walking through mid. And this is the only way how they can lose game if they're overestimating themselves, if they're being overconfident. So I like what they're doing there, backing out, but White Dragons seem to be starting the Herald. Karma's on the way. It's going to be a 4 versus 3 for the time, but you can see Nami's already rotating. You can see Lucian shoving.
Engaged by Mark, they go hard onto Phantomus. There's the CC chain, excellently executed by the White Dragons. Big shutdown for Mark. The Herald resets, but they've got the man advantage now.
They got the 1 kill, they get the shutdown, which is really important. The kill goes onto the Vi. However, what? Alois is feeling it a bit. Alois is feeling confident. This Herald should surely go over to the White Dragons. And we can see, they still have fight in them left. Oh no.
Ekkas doesn't want to let this one go, but Fred is now here. Ekkas has to flash away and will get himself to safety. Meanwhile, Alois pushes Papatiero back to the tower. Maybe the Fiora a little overextended. Doesn't have the grand challenge, doesn't have flash, does at least have a lunge, could escape over the wall, and White Dragons, they'll give up the chase.
They give up the chase, they got what they wanted, they got the Herald, and we saw, meanwhile, Gadget has his first item at 9 minutes. I think
Oh,
not
no.
only Gadget has his first item, Nami
too.
also has his first item. So I think if you SK, he's trying to look to push mid and then completely zone bot lane out of this turret and get the 2 plates that are left standing.
So it has been a very different method of reaching this point for SKP. A lot more scrappy, a lot more taking confident fights versus the Dragons, but they are still have a nice, comfortable gold lead for themselves. 1,000 gold in the lead at the 10-minute mark. No Dragon has been attempted thus far. Currently, the White Dragons with the vision control there, and Mart is very strong. He's got the Sunder. He's had all the kills for that roster, and maybe they can find an angle onto it, but they've got to keep this bot lane under control. Flashes down for alternative. The culling peppers him down, and the heal is needed to live.
That damage, we mentioned it, like the first item is already there, but it forced a flash, it forced the heal, and they now are surely able to give this up and need to give this up. Either SK is going to turn it into a dragon, or SK is going to turn it into a potentially tower. So what I would like to see is they are slow pushing this wave, so Akkas get down here and just zone the Sivir off, and then just take the turret.
My Gadget crashing this wave, seal up, checking the vision, making sure there's no one toward Mark Ganks, but he is on the other side of the map, maybe looking for a cross-map play onto Alois as the last plate falls in the bottom lane. Will the Fiora sniff this one out? Puppeteer is positioning pretty aggressively. I think SK Prime, they might know what's up here, but have they still stepped out of line? A flash in, knocks them through, riposte still unused, but he will save it. He knows his life is done.
His life is done, and this is a very, very good punish by White Dragons. They set up the wave. The wave is in a bad state for Ryova. Junglers on the opposite side of the map. Yes, they get the bot lane turret, they get the first bot turret. However, they can for sure trade something here. And they're not even going to trade one kill. They're going to trade the full turret, which is exactly what they needed to do, because these two champions have to get resources in order to bridge Sivir into the late game.
Exactly, and they are fed up now with the AP damage coming through. Puppeteer Phantomless again getting scrappy with Fred, punishing him for contesting that wave. No wave shall be crashed on the SK Prime side. Phantomless has something to say about it, and the Dragon will go over to the German squad as well.
The Dragon goes over, however, maybe they're even trying to dive Fiora again. Like, I think there's going to be an angle where they dive Fiora again. But no, I think they just wanted to ensure that they get the charge in, they back out, and Vi is pretty much fact. Maybe you can just look for something with her. I think you have to play with Vi. I think you have to play with Cannon and make sure that these two people are being set up to either instantly kill Gadget, which is super crucial if they want to play these fights. And I think that's what they were looking for. So I'm curious to how do you think this game is going to be unfolding? How do you think the next minute is going to be looking like?
So the fact that they've now cracked top lane, there's a lot less angle for Mark to make a pressure onto Alois there for Puppeteer, right? And the Kennen does have that first line completed, so those ults are going to start to hurt. We can see that Gadget is now into the mid lane, punishing Fred. Actually drops the culling as well. He does have the flash if he needs it. A dash forward will force that summoner trade. And oh my word, Gadget is not letting up the pressure right here. I think Mark's got to have a target on this Lucian's back.
Not only he has a target on this Lucian's back, this doesn't look like ADC versus tanks at 30 minutes. This looks like assassin versus tank at 30 minutes, or a minion rather, because this Ornn is surely not in the game state where he should be. And I also have to criticize this item that he's going for, because you understand he is playing in a team fight comp. Why are you not going for Rocket and playing, like, giving your carries this kind of shield? So this is what I would prefer in these type of compositions. And SK is really, with especially Gadget, is really, really hurting at this stage of the game.
Ooh, alternative takes another fat load of damage, and the Nami wave comes out, won't connect though. The mid wave continues to be scrappy, and as we say, Mark, he's in the area right now. He does have the ultimate ready. He's going towards what looks like the GA, or the Death Dance, I should say, from the chainmail and the longsword. So he is still going to be doing very serviceable damage. They just need to get on top of Gadget and actually follow up with the damage. If it's Papitiero, if it's a worse Boomerang Blade, they really need to make it stick on this Lucian. He's got both summoners. He's so strong right now.
He's not only so strong, he has an army to support him. There's still, we haven't talked about Poppy the whole game, but there's still Poppy existing, right? So there could be the weird shit that happens sometimes. Yeah, the whole team engages, and then Poppy says, back to the drawing board, and you're getting yoinked out. So that is still an option. So I'm curious how I think this game is going to be slowing down again a bit. We see these mythics coming through. We see, hey, we're just going to scale up, because SK can just say, hey, it doesn't matter to us. We can just scale. And now it's exactly what the analyst has talked about. The 1-3-1 is starting to be set up. And if Lucian and Nami always respect, they don't have an easy way of catching them. So White Dragons need to pick out an angle of focus and just keep attacking them, because if they don't do that, they will be running into a 1-3-1, which will result in a bad game stage for them.
Speaking of the mythics coming through, we do have the defensive option for Phantomless on the Silas, going Merc Treads into Crown of the Shattered Queen. Do you think this is warranted this game with the comp the White Dragons have put together?
I think, I'm not sure, because my opinion is I think there could be different things that you can go. However, some people really prefer this, and I think you can go for different things like Everfrost. You can also go, if you are really looking to play the whole game versus Ornn inside, then you could also go to Yandris, right? Because obviously that stacks. And I think it's just fine. Gadget. Holy moly.
Gotcha. And he gets away from Mart as well. Call of the Forge God is out, but it doesn't find any impactful targets. They might have Silas on his own, though. He does go golden. Crown has been popped. The rest of White Dragons are swarming over him, but he does so much damage. The Kingslayer healing, and he'll flash to safety. Oh, and he's back in with the stun, into the wall, shut down, onto Mart. Papetiero with a slicing maelstrom, splits apart the fight. Worst will finally get that Silas down. The look on the flank, Alois is there with the grand challenge, dashing forward as Ekkas, tearing apart the White Dragons, chasing them back to the tower. Fred and Worst, the last left alive, they'll be picked to pieces by the German roster.
Beautiful team fight for SK. This truly spells disaster. It looked like from the get-go, oh my god, yes, Phantom is getting caught. Phantom is going to be middle of 4 members, and you can see it here. Phantom is like, okay, let's back out, but he flashing in from Ekkas. They shut down the Vi. They get the kill. Gadget is still alive. Phantom barely makes it out, but then dies, and here comes Fiora. Fiora puts a grand challenge onto Papetero, and then they get the heal. Then they get 1 kill more. And then surely for them, it's just like, oh yes, we get this. Okay, we get this. We can still fight. We can still fight. Yes, get this one as well. And I think now this should be the turning point. 10 to 5 kills. And it's already a 5k gold lead at 16 minutes. And you can see it across the board. The only person who's really ahead in that department is actually the Vi. And do you think the gold allocation in Vi is good enough to count for the deficit that's in bot?
I don't know, Alois definitely seems pretty emboldened by that last fight, going aggressively onto Alternative and Mart. Fred is there, Worst is there, perhaps a little bit deep for the SK Prime members, and Ekkas now trying to escape, goes into the wall but is shut down. But here's the reinforcements again, SK Prime, it was all a bait, double bubble for the Nami, and Silas and Lucian will clean up the mess.
I think it's a disaster. The SK is walking confidently in and saying, yes, it doesn't matter if you kill me because my rest of the team is going to kill you. So SK gets the dragon, SK gets 4 kills again. And at this point, this is surely going to be like, oh, let's just be scrapping. Let's just get the int out before the group stage and just fight them and constantly skill check them, because this is how it's going to be. And we see, yes, Ekkas goes down. However, the reinforcements come, the Nami bubble comes, the Nami, or the look at the bubble. Look at that bubble. It's so beautiful to see double bubble. They get 2 kills again. They get the dragon. And they're looking pretty in the... They are for sure in the drive seat.
Oh, Alois, maybe now. Maybe he's been caught up. No mana to speak of with the knock-up from Fred. Well comboed. An Alternative, no! Takes the shutdown. This guy is just hoovering up the kills this series.
He's not only hoovering up the kill, like, he's literally, I like that he said hoovering. It got me so much off guard because I've never heard someone saying hoovering the kills. But like, let's get back to the game.
Yeah, that's fine. It is a nice pick for them, okay? They got a shutdown on Alois, and they've got some gold. They're going to crash this wave into bot lane, but we can see SK Prime. They've already got a wave prepped in top to match.
Yeah, they already got the wave prep. They're surely looking out to push mid now and then start to taking this top tier one. I like what things.
Papetiero tried to defend it. You're absolutely right. Deleted is the word. Mart now going to have a wee shot at defending this one, but the turret's already gone down. Now he's left in the 1v2. Alternative, not close enough to save him, but Mart fights his way out, punches his way to safety. Oh no, no Gadget, he's found the killing spree. Alternative, he just wanted to help his jungler. You can't do him like this. Gadget will pick up the jungler, clears the wave at the same time. Double for Lucian.
Double kill for Lucian, and now this is exactly what I said. Hey, they're gonna look up to push mid and then shift into top, and they can potentially go for this top tier 2, but I think what SK is trying to do is say, hey guys, it's 90 minutes, We just set up the vision for Nash. We're just gonna recall, and then we're just gonna play for Nash. So what I'm seeing here is a 20-minute Nash into just finish the game. But we're going back to
Here's
this
that
pre-play.
dive.
Yeah,
That top dive again.
yeah, that was just deletion. And I was like, okay, this is surely going to be a death for Mart, and then he just punches Silas to death. It's like, okay, not bad, not bad. But then the reinforcements come, Gadget gets the first, basically just pistols him to death, and then meanwhile clears the wave and shot a little bit of disrespect here and there. However, I think in this point of game, it's very, very clear that this game is going to be in SK's hand, and it's just a question: how fast are they willing to close this game out?
Yeah, the game one really had SK Prime just holding White Dragons at arm's length, not letting them get anything done, outclassing them in a cool, calm, and collected manner. This game has not been that. They have been coming out swinging, fists raised, beating the White Dragons into submission, taking the fights wherever they can find them, and it is going just about as well. Over 5,000 in the lead, 2 Dragons up, still maybe looking for more fights in the jungle.
Yeah, they're looking for the fight. They're setting up the Nash. You can see bot wave is looking like a slow push, and they're forcing them to react because Puppy Terror has no TP. So if Puppy Terror shows on bot wave, SK is for sure gonna start this Nash.
Maybe trying to take control of their vision once again. Mart pretty fearful to head through this jungle. He knows how many SK members are in the area. Papetiero on the bot lane doesn't quite have his TP. If a fights break out, he can't go straight in for it. Phantomless with the flag. Vi ults onto Mart, and they're looking for that all-important memory. Flashes to safety. Poppy, though, Keeper's verdicts them back to the base, and Fred, with no more support, is easily dropped in the 1v5.
This is a beautiful execution by SK. They know exactly Papitero has no TP. He goes to bot, he shows himself on bot, and they re-engage. Oh my
alternative! No, the heal is there, and the chain, the focused resolve keeps him alive, and Gadget goes golden, but Phantomless cleaning it up, not gonna let that one go to waste. Papetiero is in, and Papetiero is down. Nothing left for him to do. A double for Alois. Mart's back on the field, but Ekas is right on his case, stomps him into the wall. He goes golden, and Gadget's willing to clear it up. That is gonna be the clean ace for SK Prime.
This is not only the clean ace, this should be spelling the Nash. They get, oh, I think they're just gonna reset, take the Drake, and then do the Nash because they realize, okay, if we do that, there might be a chance for them to contest. And yeah, we see like SK is going for the Nash, and then they see, oh, we don't actually have to go for Nash. We can actually just kill them here. And then the Nash is more secure because Cannon was still up and Cannon had ult. So yes, it's a good way of seeing it. And this is kind of what they have been doing through the play-ins. We criticize them for maybe having a slow game, but when it comes to Nash, they know exactly what they want to do. They make the enemy team face check, come into them, they kill them, and make sure there's no point of contention, there's no way of seeing them, but we're coming back into the game, and we're still fighting.
Prime into the jungle. Oh, perfect wall stun onto alternative. Ekas, don't miss those. And meanwhile, Phantomless in the bot lane take Fred to task, and they'll take him down as well. The dragon now spawning. It's the third for SK Prime, and I'm not sure White Dragons can even think about contesting.
Yeah, this dragon is gone for sure. This dragon is gonna take Poppy a long time because there have been dragon buffs, and people are still forgetting. Look how slow Poppy is doing this. And yeah, you call for some team help, guys. Please don't let me do the Drake alone. And what I'm looking at, they can either play for the bot T1. And here's the thing, Ornn has teleport. If Ornn goes on side lane, that means White Dragons can't really engage. And I think they're just forcing this Nash, or trying to force this Nash. So yes, they want TDPs in. This is kind of the last ditch effort. They were like, okay, if we get this Nash and we get the good flank, maybe we can do something.
We saw how this went in game one. Ekas stole it away, and it all turned to catastrophe for them. Alois in the bot lane still pushing. Meanwhile, alternative, he's been picked off behind the pit, and White Dragons know they have to fight. They can't just let it all fall apart like this. Phantomless onto Marty gets knocked up. He's got worse than Fred. Goes golden, does the Silas. Papetiero on the front line, but does nothing left to stop the rising tide of SK Prime. And one by one, the White Dragons will fall. Quadra kill for Gadget and the Baron in the sights. Fiora is still knocking on the inhibitor.
This is just what happens if you are this far ahead at this stage of game. Almost 13k gold lead. They can just... Did you see what Silas just did? He just ulted and one-shot the camera, and then said, oh, I'm just going over the Nash pit, and yeah, you're just gonna lose the fight because our ADC has 3 items for this part of the game. And not only that, we also have a Silas who's really, really strong, and you can see it there. On the right side of your map, you see Karma's getting nuked. Silas then uses the blast cone, goes overboard, and they just keep fighting. And yeah, basically Mart is not able to do damage, and worse is like kind of tickling Phantomless. Phantomless goes into the hourglass. We see SK marching forward, SK taking 1 kill, SK getting a 2nd kill, quadra kill for Gadget, and at the same time, Alois is down in the side race and got the inhibitor. So now they can just play for the top and have one shoving wave on bot. And this is looking, SK is looking to close this game out on this Nash push.
The Portuguese dreams of qualification are dying by the minute right here. They were so close, inches away in the first series of the day for the Win Esports, but the White Dragons have been completely hobbled by SK Prime. Never could they get anything going for themselves as the SK Prime roster, the German 3rd seed, step towards the inhibitor into what could be the final moments. Ekas charging forward, does take some damage, will back away out. Alois maybe wants a bit more in the Grand Challenge, pops Papatiero, killing spree for the Fiora, and Mart gets back onto the fountain under the towers. They are being pulled apart by SK Prime. They will back away now. They are a little bit low, perhaps. SK Prime have gone a step too far.
Yeah, SK Prime toying a bit with their food, and they're not really looking out to close this game in a clean matter of fashion. However, I think maybe they can do something here. Otherwise, it's gonna for sure get this through. Otherwise, still has a GA. I think they can maybe end this.
Like, still at the Baron, he has to support. 1 tower is down, another tower shot goes down, he's pushed into Resurrection. Seal looking to finish off the objective, goes Golden to wait for his top laner. Flashes away from the knockup, Mark doesn't find the Vault Breaker, and Fred walks away. SKP, they will call it off at the last second. White Dragons, they will not
TP coming
go
in.
down
There's a
just
TP coming
yet. TP from Kennen, he's looking for the flank angle. They need to get these buffs, they need to get these shutdowns, they need to find something to give them a glimmer of hope in this series. But Alois denies them again with a kill onto Mart and forces the flash from alternative. Now Papatiero, he's the one left in the wrong area.
Yeah, this looked like SK is like going blue, forcing it, and there was even some ways of getting it back, but this was like, okay, SK is gonna for surely close this game out. They have a Nash buff, Alois still has the P, it's going to be waiting for the reinforcements to arrive, and then it's gonna maybe get some kills and just end the game.
The last push down mid, this could be. The gold lead looks insurmountable. The Dragon Soul, an afterthought as Alois TP's in, finds the Grand Challenge alternative, already down. It's a big knocker for Fred, but SK Prime, they are just too strong. Before our eyes today, we witness another proud return to form for the German roster. They be putting the Prime in Prime League as the LP LOL curse claims another victim.
LPL, it's not your day. 2 teams here, 2 teams get kicked out, get sent home.